Hello, love. Thank you, as always, for being here. Such a pleasure and a blessing to share this space with you. So, let's talk about pleasure, shall we? So, what do you think of when you think of pleasure? I'm sure we all have different things that come to mind, but let's just take a second to address the kind of weird relationship that we often have with pleasure. So we've been taught in this very intense patriarchal reality that we've been a part of for many thousands of years that we are healing. We've been taught that pleasure is sort of something outside of us that's almost like a reward. Like if we do a good enough job, if we do our work, if we win, if we succeed, then we can get some pleasure. And this is a really strange and very untrue way of relating to pleasure. And really what we see is a lot of us have this, we call it guilty pleasure, right? Like these things that we do that are maybe not actually serving us and not actually good for our bodies, but that we do kind of maybe even shamefully or secretly, or just not with a lot of consciousness, as more of an escape. So we're often living our lives in this very tense and constricted way where we're shutting ourselves down and dimming our light and trying to fit into a box. And then, we then overeat or drink too much alcohol or watch too much TV or, just do things that we know aren't actually good for us, but it's like a release. And we receive some form of pleasure from that, but it's not actually tapping into the real truth of pleasure. So the real truth of pleasure is that it's actually just our natural state of being. Like if we were just, totally not conditioned and we didn't have all these, toxic belief systems and traumas and all of these things that we were holding on to, we would actually just feel a great deal of pleasure, because when we are healthy and vibrant, we have this this beautiful energy flowing through us that feels very pleasurable. Think about a child that is like running around through a field of grass, like playing, and they just have that natural, innocent joy, that glow. They're kind of like jumping up and down and just so excited to be alive. And they're just like that until we're, constantly telling them to sit down and be quiet and don't do this and don't do that. And we start to kind of guard ourselves. But as human beings, we have this natural capacity to just be super ecstatic and filled with the natural beauty of being alive. So my invitation for us is to reclaim this natural state of pleasure within us, and then actually start to operate and live our lives from a state of pleasure. So another way to think about this is kind of like, imagine that there's this river flowing through your body, and it's this river of pleasure, this river of bliss, like your true nature, just your source energy moving through you. Vitality, love, ecstasy. And then we have the conditioning and the traumas and the fears and the blocks and, the unhealthy belief systems and the expectations and all of this stuff. And it becomes like dams in our river. And so the water becomes stagnant and murky and toxic. And so then pleasure feels like this very elusive thing that we have to go get outside of ourselves and fill ourselves with. We've forgotten that we're just this like natural, crystalline spring of delicious pleasure. So the idea is to come back to that natural state of being. And one way that we do this is through presence. So what does this mean? So being present is, it's like when you can just merge with beingness, merge with the now, merge with this moment as it is. And I don't just mean time-wise, like past, present, future. I mean like in this moment, as you're listening to this video, can you be so deeply present and in tune with everything that is happening that you, in a sense, become it? Can you become the sensations in your body? Can you become your breath? Can you drop in and feel so deeply that you merge and become one with it? That is presence. And so when you are fully present and you can fully feel and be, that's when you can start to drop into that natural flow of pleasure that is your true nature. So presence is super key, and the breath is such an incredible and important, helpful tool for accessing pleasure, accessing presence. When we breathe, we become filled with life force, with spirit, with the divine. And so we can breathe into the body, breathe deeply into the belly, feel the expansion, merge with your breath. And so I want to offer you a couple of ways that you can start to play with this in your daily life without having to add in anything extra, without having to do any specific practices, just a shift in the way that you do things that you already do. So one way is with showering. So I at least hope that you shower relatively often, right? Maybe not every day, but showering is something that we do in our lives, probably. So So you can add more presence and more pleasure to your showering by simply dropping in. And, when you have this water flowing over your body, can you make it the perfect temperature for you? And can you just enjoy it so deeply? Like, let go of the thoughts and the burdens of your mind and your to-do list and all the spinning wheels in your head, and can you drop down and feel your skin, feel the beauty, the warmth of the water flowing over you? Can you tune into the scents, the aromas in the shower and enjoy them fully? Can you close your eyes and notice the feeling of your hands on your skin when you're washing your body or washing your hair? Can you take just an extra moment to just bring yourself the most pleasure possible? And you don't have to make it this crazy elaborate ritual. You don't even have to add any extra time to your showering routine. You can just add that element of being deeply present and just enjoying and giving yourself the permission to relax and enjoy and have fun. Even adding a smile or saying yes if it feels good, or maybe doing just a little dance with your body, circling your hips a bit, inviting it in. When something feels good, invite in more of it. Breathe into it, expand into it. Let yourself have this little fun, joyful moment of ecstasy in the shower. Why not? And you can bring that into everything you do, into eating. When you sit down and eat a meal, can you breathe into the deliciousness? Can you chew a little bit slower? Swallow and feel the food moving through your body. Notice every taste, notice the smells. Be with it as if you are becoming it. And that is where you will merge with the ocean of pleasure that you are. And so you can bring this into truly everything that you do in your life, bringing in your breath, your permission, your joy, your love, your self-touch, your smile, your movement. So yes, bringing in this love, this ecstasy into all that you do, because truly you deserve it. You are worthy of it. You are it. Pleasure is your birthright. So celebrate it, enjoy it. Yes, I'm holding you in your highest pleasure, envisioning you in your highest pleasure. We all deserve to be these radiant beings of ecstatic bliss. So let's own it, okay? Okay, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Let me know how you are feeling after you try some of these tools. And if you enjoyed this, I would so appreciate if you take a moment to click the subscribe button and hit like on this video. Sending you so much love and pleasure. Mwah.